Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Arsenal versus Chelsea in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. And then on Wednesday evening, we are going to see Manchester City play Newcastle United for their second leg. But in the meantime, Arsenal go into this match 3-2 ahead. It's a right shame. I think it would have been better if we had managed to keep a clean sheet or at least 3-1. That would have been acceptable. But we considered two sloppy goals, in my opinion. I mean, they were pretty decent, let's be honest. Garnacho with two, and the changes that Liam Rosinia made actually really freaked me out a bit because you know that this guy knows how to analyze and spot the weaknesses in his team early on. He's also not scared to make changes at halftime. We saw it against, was it West Ham, where he was losing 2-0, made changes, and then suddenly they were more competitive. And I think Arteta is going to have a bit of a Tory time. He needs to make sure that that lineup tonight is solid because there's no messing about. He should not even try. And we need to, basically, we just need to make sure that our midfield is secure. We don't want any slip-ups. So this is how we lined up against Leeds. We don't know what the lineup is going to be until an hour before the match as usual, but we can just sort of predict how we'll line up with our last game. Probably, to be honest, I'm not sure if Kai Havertz is going to play. It might be Odegaard instead, but the good thing is we've got the option to change it about. So Raya in goal, possibly back four. It could be Ben White, but Julian Timber, Saliba, Gabi, and Nkapie, or it could be Miles Lewis-Kelly. He hasn't been starting often. A midfield against Leeds, we had Kai Havertz, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. But we could possibly see Odegaard back in there with Zubimendi and Declan Rice. We really need our strongest midfield. I am not a huge fan in that position of Zubimendi. You've seen the last very important games. Does he have the composure to keep it clean today? Because we cannot slip up at all. This is our best chance at an early confident boost we need to go through. And then Noni Madueke is probably going to start because Saka picked up that injury in warm-up against Leeds. So Noni might start there. You remember the Premier League game where he got bullied very badly on that wing by Cucurella. So hopefully it is not it is not the case. But yeah, he's probably going to start there. We could even start Martinelli there. You see, him and Noni and Martinelli had a great time on that right against Leeds. But of course, Chelsea are a different prospect altogether. Gyökeres definitely should start, but we do have the option of Jesus. Leandro Trossard has been starting a lot there, but we've got Eze. And Eze needs to start playing some of these games. But we'll see. We've got options or a midfield of Odegaard, Eze, and Declan Rice for me. I would be happy with that as well. It would definitely mean Rice is doing a lot more of the defending again. And we've also got issues with Merino being out injured. But we've got Norgard who can do the defensive and the midfield play as well. We do have a lot of options. Now, this is the team for Chelsea that started against West Ham, but I've got a feeling they'll make some changes. So this is who started. It was Sanchez in goal, Hato, Badiashile, Shalava, and Gusto. Then Enzo Fernandez, Moses Caicedo, Garnacho, Cole Palmer, Jamie Gittens, and Liam Delap at the front. For me, this team screams strength, aggression. They ended up Barella on, who was very dangerous when they played West Ham. But yeah, so I've got a feeling they'll have to bring in their more offensive, more flexible players to make it work, definitely. But we are going to find out anyway soon enough who's going to line up. What do I think is going to happen? I think I'm going into this match and I am very anxious. Chelsea going in better from their last 5 matches. Chelsea have won their last 5. Arsenal have won 3, lost 1, and drawn 1. Which is not a huge problem. Sometimes it gives you a lot more awareness about your priorities. Our defense has been a bit more leaky. We didn't leak anything against Leeds, which is good, but we leaked against 2 against Chelsea, 2 against Kairat Almaty, which is ridiculous in my opinion. I don't like some of the goals we were conceding. But yeah, so I am very, very anxious. We have got a 1-goal lead, but away from home, keep it tight, guys. Keep it tight and score one, sit on it. So I don't know what the approach is going to be. I still think Arsenal is going to win it, as I always do. I'm trying to be a lot more realistic, but it's very difficult to be realistic when you're supporting a team, isn't it? I'm hoping Arsenal, certainly, to win this, and I'm going to go for it. Now, Arsenal to win and to go into the final of the Carabao Cup, which, by the way, you can predict quickly that, it is going to be considered one of the most useless trophies when we win it, but we don't care. We don't care. Manchester City will be playing Newcastle on Wednesday. Now, this game, Manchester City will be going into it 2 goals up, and Newcastle will have to perform a miracle to come back and sort of compete. So I am quite confident that Manchester City are going to go through to beat, although they did struggle, they're drawing a lot. They did draw against Tottenham, late goals. But yeah, they're playing Newcastle in the Carabao Cup second leg. I've got a feeling Manchester City are going to win, but this is how they might line up. So Donnarumma in goal, and this is how they lined up against Tottenham, by the way. Nunes, Kusanov, Gehi, who I think is sort of 50-50. He started okay, but he's definitely given them a lot more stability, I think, in the back four, because they were really, really struggling. Manchester City's defense is really not as good as we know them for. And then Ait Nori at the back, Rodri and Nico O'Reilly. Rodri has been making a lot of noise saying that the referees are basically fed up of Manchester City winning, so they're being considered negatively and not being given decisions, which is absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And as everyone else has noted, he should have been sent off against Tottenham. I didn't hear him say, "Oh, they made a mistake, they should have sent me off." He's whining about a goal. That, by the way, was a stamp first by Gehi, and then Solanke kicked through him to get to the ball. So yeah, I think it was a goal. Usually, it's not perfect, but it was a goal. At the end of the day, there was no need to make a big deal out of it and call out the referees over that, especially considering that you should have walked yourself. So that was really, I think they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling the pressure badly. And I love Arteta's approach this season, which is what I was calling for. Stop going at the referees. Just massage them. Basically treat them like the damn idiots that they can be sometimes, and get on with your life. Because these guys, they can frustrate you so badly. Anyway, so we've got Cherki, who has been absolutely fantastic for Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, Antoine Semenyo coming in with the goals, playing really well, and Erling Haaland. I can't lie, I don't think Semenyo is Manchester City standards, considering what we are used to seeing from them, but he's doing a good job, and I hope he can continue doing it, because the guy is quality. Haaland at the top. And then Newcastle should line up like this. You've got Nick Pope in goal, who, by the way, can bring out some crazy performances as well. So you have to go through him. Trippier, Malik Though, I can never pronounce that name. Dan Burn and Lewis Hall, Ramsey, Tonali, who everyone's up for. To be honest, when I heard the rumors that Arsenal might be in for him, I was very excited, because every time we play Tonali, I remember him, because he is a midfield engine. Joe Willock, former Arsenal player, pretty decent. Tony Elanga, Harvey Barnes, and Anthony Gordon. So yeah, this is how they're going to line up. But honestly, I can see Manchester City, especially with their 2-goal lead advantage. I think they're definitely going to make it into the final of the Carabao Cup. So hopefully to be Arsenal versus Man City. Personally, I would prefer to play Newcastle, because Newcastle, the challenge is physical. Manchester City is psychological. I really, really cannot be dealing with any psychological problems in the Carabao Cup. And then now I'll be thinking psychological in the Premier League, psychological in the Champions League. No. I need some physical challenges, honestly, because I think we can sort of compete, but psychological is the worst. The minute you lose a psychological matchup, you are cooked. Honestly, it really takes a toll. Similar to the Man U game, the humiliation of losing to a certain team is just not worth it. So yeah, these are the games that are happening this midweek. We got Manchester City versus Newcastle United for the second round of the Carabao Cup. Arsenal going to be hosting Chelsea for the second leg. We are leading 3-2. So let's see what's going to happen. Guys, let me know who's going to go through to the final tonight and tomorrow. Let me know. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.